The deputy president, William Ruto, will no longer use military and police aircraft for his campaign tours across the country. That's according to his handlers. What is still not very clear is whether the deputy president has been stopped from using the aircraft by the government or by the state, or whether the deputy president, in his own wisdom, has decided to stop using military and police aircraft. So today I want us to look at the possible reasons why the deputy president has decided not to use police and military aircraft, or whether the deputy president has actually been stopped from using those facilities. But before we go into that, Kipchumba Murkomen was interviewed earlier this week on Citizen TV by Jeff Koinange. And during that interview, Kipchumba Murkomen attacked President Uhuru Kenyatta. And some of the cabinet secretaries were not happy by the fact that Kipchumba Murkomen was attacking President Uhuru Kenyatta. And one of them was Keriako Tobiko. So the next day, Keriako Tobiko had an event somewhere in Narok County. And Keriako Tobiko advised Kipchumba Murkomen to start respecting President Uhuru Kenyatta. And that evening, Kipchumba Murkomen tweeted in response to the challenge by Keriako Tobiko to respect the president. Let me just read for you what Kipchumba Murkomen tweeted. Kipchumba Murkomen tweeted, "Mr. Tobiko, you are a mere clerk in Jubilee government. You forget so fast that you became a CS because the president was trying to get rid of you from office of the DPP. You have no moral authority to lecture your boss, the DP, even if he is being molested by his boss. First, try to be MCA." So that's the statement where the word mere clerk first originated from. Keriako Tobiko had actually told Kipchumba Murkomen that respect is two-way. So the next day, Keriako Tobiko, in the presence of Fred Okengo Matiang'i and Mutai Kagwe, were again in Narok County. And Keriako Tobiko used the opportunity to respond to Kipchumba Murkomen. And that is what has actually caused chaos in this country. Let's listen to Keriako Tobiko responding to Kipchumba Murkomen.
Kuja kunitusi mimi, angeshauri sana huyo mkubwa. Namba 2, kwanza Murkomen yeye awe na adabu. Kwa hana adabu. Hana adabu kabisa. Murkomen amekuwa kama ni yeye tu ndiye anajua kuongea na kutukana watu. Na kutukana viongozi wengine. Na kutukana rais. So muambie na nyinyi watu wa television, muambie Murkomen mumfikishe. Awe na adabu na muheshimu rais wa Kenya hii. Na hata huyo mkubwa wake ni karani wa rais. Si ni karani wa rais? The deputy president is a clerk who should be a clerk. Assistant to president. Na vile mimi na muheshimu rais wangu ambao mimi ni clerk wake, karani wake. Hata huyo deputy na huyo Murkomen wa muheshimu rais. Respect is cuts both ways. It's a two-way traffic. Right? So if you don't respect the president of the Republic of Kenya, you do not deserve to be respected by anyone.
Now that's Keriako Tobiko responding to Kipchumba Murkomen. And in his response, Keriako Tobiko reminded Kipchumba Murkomen that yes, I am a mere clerk to the president. But your boss, who is also the deputy president, William Ruto, is also a clerk to the president. And that word, clerk to the president, has actually annoyed the allies of the deputy president, William Ruto. And they're now bitterly attacking Keriako Tobiko.
Keriako Tobiko is an idiot, a loser who couldn't even prosecute a fly when he was a DPP. Now he wants to flex his muscles on innocent children.
We want to ask CS Keriako Tobiko to spare the country of his hubris, arrogance and foolishness.
I want to at least appreciate what Nurdin Haji has done for the shortest period that he has been in office. We have seen convictions. We have seen people taken to court. This makes the rest of this country wonder. The buffoon by the name Keriako Tobiko, what that man was doing in his office. The man could not even prosecute a fly. The man was part of the cartel of the criminal gangs in this country, that instead of him aiding the accused persons get justice, he was purported to have been aiding the criminals evade justice.
Now, the fact of the matter is that this exchange is actually over a statement which Kipchumba Murkomen on national TV. According to Kipchumba Murkomen, without the deputy president William Ruto, Uhuru Kenyatta would have been nothing in this country. And they've been reminding Kipchumba Murkomen that indeed President Uhuru Kenyatta was supported by the deputy president. But where are the numbers? So according to them, and even Mutai Nguni alleged this, the deputy president only brought on board 1.4 million votes, while Uhuru Kenyatta brought on board 6 million votes. And I remember Dennis Itumbi also alleging that without that 1.4 million votes, then Raila Odinga would have won because Raila Odinga had 6.7 million votes. And one man gave us the figures. Listening to him.
William Ruto jana alimtuma Kipchumba Murkomen akawandanganya wa Kenya ati yeye ndiye alisaidia Uhuru Kenyatta kuwa rais, ati bila yeye Uhuru angekuwa rais. Na mimi nimesema nifanye hesabu kidogo hapa. Nikufanyie hesabu kidogo hapa Mkenya ndio tujue mimi kati yangu mimi na William ni nani anadanganya wa Kenya. Zile kura William alileta ni kama hizi kutoka kwa strongholds zake. Kericho 262,000. Uasin Gishu 255,000. Nandi 225,000. Elgeyo Marakwet 128,000. Bomet 209,000. West Pokot 97,000, Turkana 52,000 na Samburu 31,000. Hizo kura zote mimi nikijumlisha naona ni 1.4 million. Tuangalie za Uhuru Kenyatta. Tukianza na stronghold Kiambu 988,000. Nairobi 791,000. William hana kura Nairobi. Nakuru 639,000. Murang'a 499,000. Kirinyaga 367,000. Nyeri 389,000. Nyandarua 336,000. Embu 281,000. Tharaka Nithi 192,000. Meru 582,000 na Laikipia 181,000. Zote zile Uhuru alileta katika kikapu cha Jubilee ni 6 million votes. Sasa niulize, ni nani alisaidia mwingine? Yule ni mtu ambaye kura zake zilikuwa kidogo, akasaidiwa, akaletwa kwa serikali, akalipwa na akapatiwa half of the cabinet, ambayo tunaita nusu ya serikali. Ni nani alisaidia mwingine? Tuambiane ukweli.
But what I'm failing to understand is why the allies of the deputy president are catching the mere fact that the deputy president has been referred to as a clerk. Remember, a clerk is a job in this country. There's so many Kenyans who are just wishing to be clerks. So are we criminalizing being a clerk? And why would they get annoyed when they clapped? These same people actually clapped for Kipchumba Murkomen when he referred to Keriako Tobiko as a mere clerk. Keriako Tobiko, if you listen to him very closely, he was just reminding Kipchumba Murkomen that, of course, I am a clerk, but your boss, the deputy president, is also a clerk to the president. But let us wait and see how this kind of exchange is going to unfold. But one thing I know for sure is that the likes of Kipchumba Murkomen are doing a great disservice to the deputy president. Must the allies of the deputy president respond to every other individual in this country? Tell me any single individual who is opposed to the deputy president who has never been responded to or attacked or abused or even insulted by the allies of the deputy president. Talk of Raila Odinga, talk of Atwoli, talk of Murathe, talk of Joho, talk of any other person. Any moment you have a slight view from what the deputy president is or believes in, then you become an enemy. These guys have attacked every other person in this country who is perceived to have either at one point or the other held a different opinion to that of the deputy president and their own opinion. And I think this arrogance is not going to help the deputy president. The deputy president and his team must try and start taming people like Kipchumba Murkomen, people like Oscar Sudi, people like Nelson Koech, people like Didmas Baraza. You know, when Didmas Baraza takes to the floor to attack Keriako Tobiko, then you weigh their CVs, then you even wonder, because this is a man who has lots of skeleton in his cupboards. But the fact of the matter is, the deputy president bid is actually being punctured by some of his allies. Now, let us get back to the main issue. Is it possible that the state stopped the deputy president, William Ruto, from using military choppers? Or is it that the deputy president has just decided not to use those military choppers? Again, if you're watching this video for the first time, please take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Is it possible that the deputy president just decided? Because remember, as the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya, the deputy president has at his disposal access to military chopper, police fixed wing, and government choppers in this country. He has access to that by virtue of being a very, very important person in this country, and by virtue of being the second in command in this country. So why would the deputy president stop using these government facilities? Because of course, if he decides to use private ones, then there's cost implications. So it means the government would decide then not to foot. What is still not very clear also is whether the deputy president is actually using these private choppers, but it's being funded by the state. That's also not very clear. The other fact which is not very clear is whether the state is actually the one which has stopped him from using this. But why would the deputy president stop using military choppers? Only 3 reasons. Number 1, which I suspect, is security reasons. The deputy president has realized that he has so many enemies within the government. And we know the history of this country. George Saitoti was the minister for internal security, a very powerful individual. George Saitoti was a former vice president of the Republic of Kenya. Still, George Saitoti was eliminated. George Saitoti was eliminated to pave way for certain individuals to take leadership of this country. And indeed, it happened. Because assuming Saitoti was there, it would have been difficult for Uhuru and Ruto to actually succeed. So there are elements within the system who believed that Saitoti was going to stop them from achieving their objectives. So Saitoti was eliminated. So many people have been eliminated. So the deputy president must have realized that my continued use of these government facilities is actually a security threat to myself and even to my supporters. So he has decided not to use them. So I think that's the main reason why the deputy president, if the government has not stopped him, then that's the main reason why the deputy president is not using government resources. The second reason, in my view, is probably the government said no. We all know that the deputy president has been humiliated. These guys continue to humiliate him. In the last budget, his allocation was heavily reduced. And again, the office of the deputy president was then transferred to the office of the president. So which meant that anything the deputy president required had to go through the office of the president. And that's where the deputy president has problems with. So something tells me that the government probably has decided that this guy is using some of these resources for his own campaigns. So therefore, there's no need for us to continue providing him with these resources so that when he goes to Mombasa, he's not going to Mombasa on official duty. He's going to Mombasa just to politics. And the president is clear that he's not keen on early campaigns. So the only alternative is to stop the deputy president from using these government resources. Or if he has to use them, let him use his own personal resources. So I think the government might have decided, we are not going to allow this guy to continue using these resources because he's using them for his personal gains. And again, you know so well that in politics is a dirty game. Maybe these guys have realized that the DP is actually using some of these resources to gain political mileage. So they are saying no. And it's going to continue like that if that's the reason. Number 3, I think the DP president might have also just decided that I want to use my own resources. because he's projecting himself as a hustler. So when you are a hustler, then you go to Kisumu using that military aircraft. It lands there. Then you drive in those 4x4 vehicles to your event. And then you start telling these people how you are a hustler. It doesn't make sense. So I think the deputy president is trying to use his own resources so that he can tell people that personally I was not using government resources to campaigns. Because I know these are some of the things which are going to come up in the near future. The alternative is the deputy president is using his own resources to test whether he has the ability to fund campaigns. That one is if we assume that indeed the deputy president is using his own resources, or the private choppers which he's using are not being funded for by the government. Because remember, he has a budget, of course, whether it's reduced or not, he has a budget. So probably these guys will procure these things, then ultimately they invoice the government, and then because he has a budget, then he pays from the coffers. But if that's not the case, then I'm sure the DP just want to use his resources so that he's not being a target. Because people will tell him, you are complaining you don't have a job. You are doing nothing. Yet, you continue using government resources. You continue using military aircraft, police air wings. So I think the deputy president his advisors might have told him, please, just stop using these government resources. Because if you claim publicly that you don't have a job, the Kipchumba and Murkomen is saying the deputy president has never been assigned any job, then why are you using these government resources? I don't know what you think, but from where I am, I strongly believe that the deputy president either is not using these government resources because of security reasons. And if that's not the reason, then I strongly believe that the government has said no to the deputy president. He has been stopped from using them. Or alternatively, the deputy president has just decided to start using his own resources. I don't know what you think. Let me know your thoughts on this particular matter. Why do you think the deputy president is no longer using military aircraft for his campaigns? Let me know in the comment section. And again, if you are bumping on this video for the first time, I want you to take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And again, to the subscribers, you guys have been amazing. I don't know how I can thank you guys, but I know so many of you guys are very supportive of the channel. Anytime I delay posting a video, you guys ask me. And I know because I even meet some people on the streets here, they tell me you do a good job. And again, the support you give, which I can't thank you enough for. Just continue sharing these videos to your WhatsApp groups, to your Facebook groups. And again, just drop your comments, because from those comments we are able to interact, and from those interactions at least we are able to understand where we are heading to. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day. And my next video, why do I have a feeling that David Murathe going to EACC was actually a strategy to drag the deputy president to EACC. David Murathe and his handlers, and probably the system, wants to use David Murathe to drag the deputy president to EACC over the KEMSA scandal. I'm thinking on how I can put it, but something is convincing me that there's a strategy to drag the deputy president to EACC, so that David Murathe had been summoned, so the next person who is likely to be summoned is the deputy president, William Ruto. Let me know your thoughts on that, and thank you guys for your time. Bye-bye.